That's great. All right. Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm just going to pin my video so you guys can see. Um, Hi, Ricky.
Awajan, put the microphone in front of you. When you go back, put it back because your voice is very low again.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes, but it's very low.
I hear you fine.
Okay,
Much
perfect.
better.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and mute everybody, just so that there's not any background noise going on in the back. So I see that we have some new faces on here and some old faces I haven't seen in a long time. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our incredible leadership story call. I'm excited to have you guys here. I see that we have some new faces. Hello, Roya June. Hello, Ricky. Hello, Grace. Maureen is here too. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to have you guys all here with us tonight to hear some incredible stories from some of our incredible leaders all over the world. We have people calling in from the East Coast, the West Coast, up north, south, all over the place. So I'm excited to have you guys here and to share with you more about this incredible technology, the Kangen water machine, and how it's been blessing all of our families all over the world. And just as myself, when we got introduced to this company about 7 years ago, I didn't really think anything of it. I just, thought water is water, just like everybody else. And I was just happy that I didn't have to carry around plastic water bottles and have a recycling center piling up in my car, because you would take 2 sips out of the water and then it was kind of gross. So you would toss it out. And I just thought that that was such a waste. So when we decided to invest in our Kangen water machine, that was the only thing that I was excited about. Little did I know that there were so many other things that this machine was going to do for me, my health, my family, and our business as well, which is, as you see, we're here in our showroom in Tarzana, California. We have our little demo stand here. So I'm going to be showing you a little bit about how this water works. And I'd also love to hear from some of our leaders that we have on the call tonight. I'm just going to make sure if you're coming in to just mute yourself so there's no background noise. Thank you. And yeah, so we were introduced to Enagic about 7 years ago when my grandfather was diagnosed with kidney failure. And the specialist, the nephrologist, told us that this water, this specific ionized Kangen water from Japan, was going to help my grandfather withstand some of the treatments that he was going through. And, we were skeptical because it was just a water machine. We didn't think anything of it. But once my family started to do a little bit more research, we realized that there are a lot of benefits to having a Kangen water machine. And so we decided to spread it within our family and with our friends. And soon enough, it started growing more and more all over the world. Now, the company itself is based out of Japan. They're celebrating their 48th anniversary this year. So they've been around for almost 50 years. That's incredible. A privately held company, been around for over almost 50 years. And these machines are certified medical devices in Japan. They're actually being used in some of the hospitals in Japan as well. So that's when we started to think, maybe there is something to this. And we started doing a little more research and decided to invest in this technology. Now, what made this machine so special? There are 3 properties that this water carries that's different from any other water that you can purchase in a grocery store, in a market, or even just any other filter that you could get. So the properties of Kangen water include the antioxidants, the alkalinity, and the microclusters. So I'm going to get into that a little more deeply, but first I'd like to invite my very dear friend, Mr. Ricky Zarate, who's on the line. Ricky, are you here with us?
Hi.
Hi, welcome. How's it going? I know it's a little bit later where you're calling in from, so I wanted to bring you on as our first guest speaker to share with us from your expertise. Just a little bit about Ricky. I've known him for just a couple years now, and I get to know him more and more and how special of a soul he really is. He's an herbalist. He is very, very educated in his niche that he practices, and he is a healer as well. So Ricky, I'm so grateful to have you here with us. I know you are so educated and have done so much research, and you're such a great leader, and you're calling in from North Carolina, correct?
Correct. So I'm in North Carolina right now. I'm in Asheville. Originally from California, right where Ava is, and but I came down here, and I moved down here with my business, Kangen Water, as well. So I'll spend a little bit of time talking about myself. My name is Ricky Zarate, and I'm living in Nashville, originally from Los Angeles, and I originally got into the whole health area when I was straight out of high school. I went to school and I started practicing dental surgery. And I wanted school to be a dentist. And once I worked in the field for a few years, I kind of realized that there was more that I really wanted to do. I didn't know what it was, but it was a true calling that I wanted to do. So I quit going to school and I kind of took a break. I took a sabbatical, is what I call it. And in the middle of all that, I was out of school and I was in California, and I actually came down with a disease. It was an autoimmune disease that I started to get treatment for. I didn't know what it was. I was really young. I was just turned 21 when this happened, and it was an autoimmune disease that was like eating away at my skin. So me being a young person, I was just out of school. I studied some aspects of medicine and I didn't know what was going on. So I went to the doctors because we trust in the doctors, right? So I went to the doctors, and for they couldn't figure out for what was going on with me for a long time. So they were just giving me medications that was keeping the symptoms at bay, and they were helping, but the symptoms that the medication was causing was worse. It was causing me to not see properly and clearly during the day and blurry at night. So it was making me blurred vision. My stomach was always deteriorated. Um, I could never hold any food down. I was sensitive to light. A lot of things were happening to my body, and the doctor just kept saying, just keep taking the medicine. There's no cure for it, and hopefully it'll just go away. And for me, that wasn't an answer. And I was young, and I said, I have a lot to live for in my life. So I started doing my own research. And it wasn't overnight. It took a few years until I found something. And I learned that herbs were something that can help me. So I decided to go back to school to learn more about herbs. And I went back to school and got a master's in herbalism. So I started practicing holistic herbalism and helping myself and family and friends. And it really helped me. And that's truly where I found healing and helping others. Mm-hmm. And after I finished school there, I went back to California because I went to school in Asheville, here where I'm at now. And I went back to California and I started my own practice. I started my own practice, and I was actually in Tarzana, and it was right around the same time when I met Shadi and Ava, and when I was introduced to Kangen Water, and this was the most amazing part of all of this because I started a business helping people with herbs, but I wasn't becoming very successful, and I was paying a lot of rent for the space I was renting, a lot of overhead, paying the light bill, and just having to drive back and forth to work. It was a lot, and I was starting to really have negative experiences again. And then one day I was just out visiting the community, and I walked into Energic Family showroom. Mm-hmm. And I met Shadi, and she told me about this water. And at first I was just like, okay, I just kind of took the water home. And on the way home, I said, oh my gosh, I was drinking the water for the whole day. And then I was like, wow, this water really is making me feel good right now in the middle of everything that was happening with my new profession and my new job. I mean, my new career, and it was kind of failing. So I called Shadi right away and I said, what is this water? I have to know more about it. Please tell me. So she said, hey, I have a show tonight. So why don't you come see the demo? I'm doing a demonstration about the water. So I said, okay, what time? 7. I was there. So I came to the demo and I met Shadi again, and I met Ava that night, I believe. And I think I also met her husband. And hi there, Shadi. And
She came on just to
why
say hi
don't
to
you go
you.
straight on what did this water do for your skin rash and your detoxing, and get to the core of it. What would this water do for you, honey?
Well, once you gave me the water and I started to feel better and I started using it in my practice, I started taking it with my herbs, and I was starting to feel the medicine of the herbs working a lot faster. I started to feel going into my body faster and started feeling more energy from it. So I started doing more research on it. And as I was doing more research on it, I started to dig into why this was. And that's because the electrical component and the ionization of the water was helping the herbs absorb into the cells faster. So it was allowing for the bioelectrical charge. It was extracting the components from the herb and putting it right into the cell. So I was feeling it work faster. And because of that, I said, wow, that's pretty amazing, because herbs are oxygenated compounds. And when you mix them with high oxygen water, it really creates a synergy and it puts it right into the cell. And I was feeling the medicine work faster. So as I was using this on my skin, using it on my body and drinking it, I was watching how my skin was healing way faster on its own just by using the water alone. And when I put it with the herbs, it really created a fast effect of healing the body. It was removing the acid. It was making it feel cool again, because sometimes it would feel really hot, and it would make it feel cool, and it would make my skin, I would always use the 2.5 and then the 6.5 after. And
I'll get into
what I love
those.
about it is
Yeah,
the oxygen.
exactly. I'll get into those other
Thank you for letting me share.
Absolutely. I just wanted to hear, a little bit of your expertise and how you use this water in your practice as well. And as you were talking about, the properties of the water, I wanted to just do a quick test to show everyone how that is and why it was allowing your body to absorb those herbs a little bit more quickly, as you said. So the first,
let's see.
Yeah, exactly. So you were talking about that charge, right? So the bioelectrical charge. I know you sound a little more scientific than me, but I'm just going to give you basic how the water works. So basically, when this water comes out of this machine, it is full of antioxidants. Now, how or why? It's because the water is being ionized and the molecules are being split. So you're getting a high molecular hydrogen water. And so if you'd like to look at different articles about that, you can research electrolyzed reduced water, and I will enter that into the chat as well. And molecular hydrogen water on Google Scholar or PubMed, and you can read a little bit more about how that works. So I'm just going to show you guys a quick test. I'm going to move back here, and we're going to compare and contrast some of our different beverages that we have here. So we have our Sprite, which represents all sodas. The dark sodas are usually worse, but we use this so you can see the color. So here's our soda. And then we have our energy drinks, Gatorade, anything with electrolytes. Usually there's a lot of sugar in these, so we need to be a little bit careful what it is that we're drinking. And I'm going to show you how they fall on the scale of oxidation reduction potential. So I'm going to pull up the chart right now. Here is our Evian water that is supposed to be fancier and, better, but it's still in a plastic bottle. So what happens when water sits in a plastic bottle? It oxidates. And this bottle right here is our Essentia water. As you guys can see, these are our alkaline water bottles that are being sold in the supermarkets and everywhere around town. You'll start to see different brands of alkaline water bottles. Actually, today I read an article that there was one of these brands called Real Water that is being recalled, and the FDA is issued a warning because there has been some links to liver failure because of these alkaline water bottles. Why? Because there's some ingredients that they're being added to the water. So make sure if you're buying water bottles that you read the ingredients before you put anything inside your body. So there we have our Essentia water. And last but not least, of course, our Kangen water, which came straight from our machine here at the showroom. And as you can see, all of these beverages are clear, right? But they're not the same. So just because something is clear or all water is clear does not mean they're created equally. And right here, I have our ORP meter. So this meter is going to represent whether or not this beverage is oxidating to the body or causing additional aging, or it's antioxidants, which is going to be anti-aging or reversing the aging process. Well, I guess you can't reverse the aging process, but you can definitely help slow it down. So I'm just going to go ahead, turn this on. This meter right here is going to show a range of positive or negative numbers. The positive numbers means that it is oxidating. If the number shows up negative, that means there are antioxidants in the beverage. So I'm just going to come around front so you can see a little better. Drop our meter into the Sprite, and I'll bring it up close so you guys can see. This Sprite here is showing positive 378, well, 380. If I leave it in here for longer, it's going to keep on climbing. So that's positive, which means it's oxidating your body or aging you much more quickly. Then we have our Gatorade. Dropping the meter in the Gatorade, let it sit in there for just a couple of minutes. And as you can see, same thing, positive 360. Well, there we go, 360 positive, which means it is aging us as we're drinking it. Now, any regular bottled water is going to be positive, right? Because this property, you cannot bottle it. It has to be fresh from the machine. Now, as you see, Evian water, which is supposed to be much better for you than normal plastic water bottles, still shows as a positive 360. Therefore, it's just like you're drinking soda, but you're not. So here on the Essentia water, you can see that it says ionized hydration. Now, let's see if the meter will tell us whether or not it is really ionized or not. So these water bottles, and if you can actually Google Essentia water bottles as well, and you'll see that there's a lawsuit against their company for false advertising because of all of the claims that they're making on their bottles. If we test this water, you'll see that it's still at a positive 260. So that means that it's not ionized, which is why there are these misleading marketing tactics that these water bottles are using. Now, finally, we have our Kangen water. Let's see how it compares to the rest of the beverages. Now, as you can see, well, it might be a little bit difficult. Let me see if this light turns on. There we go. As you can see, oops, there we go. You see that minus sign? -3, it's going down to past 400. You see that right there? Those are the active hydrogen molecules or the antioxidants in the water. This is why when we drink Kangen water, it's better than anything else that's in the market. Whether or not it's alkalized or not, it is full of antioxidants, which makes it so much more hydrating for our body. So that was the first property of Kangen water. Next up, I'd like to invite another amazing guest that we have on our call. I see Miss Maureen is there as well. Maureen, are you here with us?
Yes, I am, darling. How are you? It's so
I'm
good to
doing
see
so
you.
well. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited for
Of
you
course.
to share with us how this water has helped you with all of you're so active and you're an athlete and you're working with young children with different sort of disorders. So I'd love for you to share the research that you've done and the reason why you're here with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for that introduction. So, my name is Marine. I am a child developmental therapist as well as a mom. I have two amazing kids. I work with children with autism and special needs as a therapist, and I absolutely love what I do. So, when I was introduced to the water, I did a lot of research because I wanted to make sure that this was something that was good for my kids, and my kids right away fell in love with the water, and they said, Mommy, do you have more of that special water? So I really, when they said that, I started taking a little bit closer look at it, and I did my research, and I found that it had so many amazing properties, and it would actually help my clients, the kids I work with autism. It would bring the inflammation in their brain down, as Kangen water is anti-inflammatory, if you don't already know that. So I was right away hooked on it. I bought the SD501 in platinum. I absolutely love it. I go hiking every day, 8 to 10 miles. I drink about 66 ounces with me of water while I am hiking. And I can honestly say I have never been sore because the Kangen water reduces, gets rid of the lactic acid buildup from our bodies. That is why a lot of the athletes drink Kangen water. It is really amazing. I mean, it's like I'm never tired to go not hiking. If I don't go, it's because it's raining.
Of course. That's awesome. So can you please, I know you touched on it a little bit about lactic acid and how that stuff builds up in our bodies. Explain to us a little bit more about how this water can help with that while I show the alkalinity test. If you could please explain that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the water is so rich in antioxidants, and it's such a high alkaline level. It just gets rid of all the lactic acid buildup that is in our bodies. It does not allow the muscles to be sore. There is no inflammation. Lactic acid comes from being inflamed. A lot of, when you work out a set of muscles, next day you're usually sore because the muscles are inflamed. Well, Kangen water reduces that inflammation right away because it's so super hydrating that when you drink the water, 99.9% of the water is absorbed by your cells right away, unlike bottled water or tap water, which is about 25-30% at the Kangen water is absorbed by our bodies, assimilated right away. So it goes to your cells, goes to our cells, it goes to our brain. Our brain is 85% water. We are 75 plus water. So it goes right away. It alkalizes, energizes, and hydrates our cells. So the body does not have the chance to, hold on to all that soreness. It just releases it right away. Like it says, like I'm telling you, it just never ceases to amaze you. To amaze me. I tell all my friends, it's amazing.
I love
like, how
that.
could
Thank
I not?
you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys what she means by the alkalinity and how it compares to the rest of these beverages. These are just normal pH tester drops. They also have, what are they called? Strips. Thank you. Strips that you can test the pH with as well. I'm just going to put a couple of these drops in all of these beverages so you can see how they compare with each other. And as you can see, the pH chart is right here underneath. So it goes from 0 to 14. 7 is neutral. Anything below 7 is considered acidic, and anything above 7 would be considered alkaline. So here are the beverages that we have here. Sprite shows that it is pretty acidic. Gatorade, same thing, very acidic. Evian shows that it's pretty neutral. Oh, well, it's going back and forth. I would say that it's still considered acidic, not to mention it's been sitting in this plastic bottle for quite some time now. From the time that they bottled it to the time that it got over to the supermarket for you to buy it to then drink it, it's been sitting and leaching in plastic for a long time. So it's definitely not the best option. Here we have our essential water, which is considered alkaline water, correct? But we realized that that was because of some of the minerals they're adding to the water, which is making it show that it is alkaline. The difference between these alkaline water bottles and Kangen water is the fact that Kangen water has actually gone through a process where the alkaline and the acidity have been split from each other. Therefore, when you drink this water, it actually gets absorbed in your system much more quickly. So usually we show a test. I'm going to show you guys real quick. When we drink these alkaline waters, here they show that they're pretty similar in color. But when the water comes in contact with the CO2, so when we drink it, right, that's what it represents. Watch what happens to this water. So I'm just going to blow into it really quickly for you to see how these waters change. So just count with me, okay? We're going to do less than 10 seconds. All right, everybody, ready, set, go. 10. Now, can you guys see the difference? Have you watched? Now you can see the water changed. Those minerals that were added to it evaporated, and all you're left with is that acidic water. That's why these water bottles people are starting to realize more and more that they are not healthy for us. Just because something says alkaline on it doesn't mean that it's the best option. It may be better than all the other water bottles on the market, but it's not as good for you as you think. Now we're going to do the same thing to our Kangen water. Same test, 10 seconds. Let's see how this goes, okay? Ready, set, go. I think that was more than 10 seconds, right? Yeah. As you can see, the water is still alkaline because the acidity has actually been taken out or released from the water. That's why you see there's two separate hoses that the machine comes with. The alkaline water comes from the top and the acidic water comes from the bottom. Now, let's say that your body is in any of these states and you start to drink Kangen water. That's why a lot of people are seeing, Ricky was talking about how the first day he started drinking it, he was feeling something, right? That's because when you drink this water, it allows your body to be in a state that your body can heal itself. So with the essential water, it changed back. Evian, it changed back. Now with Gatorade and Sprite, they're very acidic. So let's see if it'll change. It's not even blinking. Sprite, same thing. It doesn't even blink. But I diluted this water, this Sprite, with Kangen water, right? So there should be about 75% Kangen water in here. But with just one sip, watch how it completely transforms back to acidic. So if you take anything from my presentation tonight, it's to stay as far away as you can from these kinds of beverages because your body is just not used to that much acidity and it has to work even harder to neutralize it. So that's the second property of Kangen water and how it is able to neutralize the acidity in our bodies. I see that we have some more people on the line that I'd like to get some more feedback from. Is anybody, let's see, who else would like to share? I see Shadi is here with us. Shadi, would you like to share a little bit about why I'm standing here today because of you?
Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm so grateful to be here, and I'm so grateful having you doing the demo tonight so I can be here in Laguna Beach for my mom's birthday. Thank you, Mama. I love you. Well, this amazing device came to my life about 7 years ago. And because of my dad's nephrologist that prescribed this machine for my father and said that this device is the best gift of life for him. After we bought the machine, I started bringing the water home for my family. Of course, my husband's acid reflux of 22 years went away in 3 weeks by just changing the water. My son got rid of the constipation that he was suffering from. My daughter got rid of the allergy, my other daughter, not this one that's standing there. And I felt it on my sleeping pattern. I started sleeping so much better and my energy level was amazing. So I started giving water to the patients I was working with, the children with autism, with Down syndrome, with diabetes, and the transformation on these children was just so incredible that I told my husband, oh my God, the world needs this. So we need to share this amazing gift to everybody. And I dropped everything and I started sharing it with everyone. And I'm so grateful because now my sister, my brother, of course, my mom, everyone had an amazing benefit with this water. And all the testimonials are getting better and better. And I'm excited to wake up every single morning and to ask people, what happened to you? Have you been drinking the water? Have you tested? Do you want me to give you some water to have your own results? So I'm grateful to be here. I would answer any questions at any time. Everybody would like to know more, or if you guys want to drink the water, if you're in driving distance, I would deliver water to you personally because I believe in it so much. Thank you, Mayava.
Thank you. Thank you for being here with us and sharing your incredible story that has really brought us all here. Now, this is why we're all working together as a family to bring this incredible technology to more and more people around the world so they can benefit from it as well. So thank you so much. I am going to show you the last but not least test of how Kangen water absorbs much more quickly in your system. As Ricky was sharing with us, when he started drinking this water with the herbs, it allowed the herbs to absorb in his cells, correct? Why does that happen? Because these molecules have been shrunk down from the process of ionization. The molecules of the water are much smaller. So you're able to actually drink more water and not get bloated or feel so tired because you're so full from that heavy water. If anybody has had that experience where they were so thirsty, they just chugged an entire cup or an entire bottle of water and felt bloated or tired or lethargic after drinking water, that's because the molecules were so large. Now let's see how this compares with a tea bag. So this tea bag we have here is an organic green tea bag. We use these tea bags because there's no wax around it, so that it's supposed to represent your cells and how the water absorbs in your cells while you're drinking it. So I have some cups over here, and tell me, think about it. When you want to make tea, what do you normally have to do to the water in order for you to get some tea? Normally you have to boil it, correct? Yeah, so if you're using a regular tea bag with room temperature water, this is room temperature, are you able to make tea? Let's find out. So this is just a regular Costco brand water bottle, but you can use tap water, you can use any bottled water for this test and it would do the same thing. So here we have our water bottle and our tea bag. Let's see, with that, room temperature water and this tea bag, as you can see, there's not much tea in there, correct? It's just clear, right? Now I'm going to use this same exact tea bag and use our Kangen water to see how it compares. Now watch this. This is also room temperature as well. It's not hot, it's not warm. It's actually pretty cold if you want to know the truth. But watch what happens when we drink Kangen water with our supplements or tea or whatever else that you want to take it with. Can you see the difference there? Absolutely. With room temperature water, we were able to make some green tea. Now, normally people are like, well, that tea bag was wet. It doesn't count. It's not the same. So let's try this again. Same tea bag, room temperature bottled water. Did you get any tea? Nope. But the same tea bag with our room temperature Kangen water, you can clearly see the difference there, right? This is supposed to symbolize how this water works in our cells and how it's able to absorb and actually detox you much more quickly than regular water. So let's say you're taking any sort of supplements, vitamins, herbs, as Ricky was telling us before, and you're taking it with regular water. So I'm just going to put a couple drops in each of these cups to show you guys. Let's say these are our vitamins, okay? We're going to take those vitamins with this same bottled water. As Maureen mentioned earlier, only about 10% of these water bottles get absorbed into our system. That's why we get bloated or we feel tired after drinking a lot of water. But Kangen water, because of the molecule structure, the molecular structure of the water, is able to absorb much more quickly and not give you that bloated or, tired feeling from drinking the water. It actually gives you energy when you drink this water. And here you can see how much better these vitamins were absorbed. Can you guys tell? There, you can see the difference when it's behind the white screen. How much more these vitamins are absorbing in our bodies when we take them with Kangen water or any sort of herbs or anything like that, because the body is able to hydrate at a cellular level when these molecules get absorbed in our system much more quickly. So I found that to be really, really, really cool when I saw this the first time. And I knew that a lot of people would really enjoy this presentation, which is why I wanted to share it with you guys a little more in depth. So those were the 3 properties of the drinking water that you can get from your very own Kangen water machine. There are a few other waters that you're able to use when this machine comes into your household, such as the 11.5, the 2.5, and the beauty water as well. As Ricky was mentioning to us, he was able to use that on his skin. The beauty water is the same pH level as your skin, so it absorbs and acts as a toner that you're able to actually use less products, which is really cool because it absorbs in your skin much more quickly. As well as the 2.5, which you're able to use as a sanitizer in your household and to clean everything without any chemicals. We also love using the 11.5 water that acts as a degreaser, or it's able to wash off the pesticides from your fruits and vegetables. So I'm going to show you guys one last test to show you how we use this 11.5 pH water in our household. So bear with me for 1 second. All right, so now, normally we have some tomatoes to show you how we wash our fruit, but I'm just gonna use some walnuts. In our Persian household, we eat walnuts with everything. So normally nobody even thinks to wash this kind of stuff, but if you didn't know, there's actually a lot of preservatives that are added to our nuts and to all of our food to make the shelf life last longer. Now, all of that stuff doesn't belong in our body. So if there's a way to get rid of it before you eat it, why not? And then we're going to use some sesame oil. So this test works with any oil that you'd like to use, but we use sesame oil so you guys can see the color. I'm just going to put a couple of drops into each of these cups. That looks about even. And then we have, let's just use our Evian bottle that we were using before. So I'm going to wash these walnuts with our Evian water. And in school, they always taught us that oil and water don't mix, right? The oil is way too heavily saturated and the water is not able to break it down. So here we see, I'll just finish it off. Here we see that the oil and the water begin to separate, right? Because they cannot mix. Now, with this water is the 11.5 pH that comes from the Kangen machine with just a touch of a button. With this water, you're actually able to wash all of your fruits and vegetables, especially the ones that have a lot of wax on them. That stuff is all pesticides. And if you have done any research on pesticides, you know that it is not good for our systems. And it's been linked to a lot of different kinds of diseases as well. So if you're able to get rid of it, you are going to be better off later on in the future. So I'm just going to give this, and I always show everybody that this is just water. See, it's just water, safe to drink. Nothing's going to happen to me. And I'm going to wash these walnuts with some 11.5 and watch what happens when I pour this water over the oil. What happened to the oil? It broke down. It emulsified. This symbolizes what Kangen water does in our bodies. It's able to actually detox your body. And not to mention, this water is able to get rid of anything that is oil-based. So it breaks down the oil without the use of any chemicals. It's actually strong enough to do this one as well. It's kind of full, but there you go. It's able to break down that much oil. Now, as you can see, these walnuts are starting to look a little bit different now. Those preservatives are starting to wear off. And we have this one, which is our walnuts that were washed with regular bottled water. That's what came off of these. Not much, just a little bit of color. And then we have our walnuts that were washed with 11.5. Check out the difference. Now, in our normal demos, I would tell you to taste the difference between these, but I'm just going to leave that up to you guys to get your Kangen machine and to wash your walnuts, your tomatoes, your apples, your cucumbers, all of your fruits and vegetables with this water so you can have real organic produce, which is pretty freaking valuable if you ask me, right? So I just want you guys all to know that the person that invited you here today really did care about you and wanted you to see something that not too many people are going to talk about. Oh, is it off?
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Oh, they really
Okay,
can't?
now we can.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, cool. Hopefully you guys didn't miss too much of what I said, but I wanted to let you guys know that the person that invited you here today really did care about you and your health and wanted you to see something that not a lot of people usually talk about. And so it has been my pleasure to share with you some of the benefits of having your own Kangen water machine. Not to mention there are so many other benefits that this machine has brought our family as well. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out to the person that invited you to this call, and they will be able to connect you with either myself or Shadi, and we will be able to answer all of your questions to the best of our ability. It's been a pleasure being here with you all tonight. It was good to see some of you guys I haven't seen in a very long time. And yeah, this concludes my presentation. If anybody has any questions, let me know. If not, I will definitely see you next week on our next testimonial story call. I appreciate all of you guys being here with us.
Thank you, Ava.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Have a
Ava.
good night.
Thank you.
Thank
Ava.
you.
Bye. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ava. It was good.